Americans are not just chasing sunshine anymore, they're chasing stability. And in 2026, that shift is redrawing the migration map. The common narrative says people are still flooding into the usual hot states for lifestyle alone. But recent moving trends tell a tighter story. A story shaped by insurance spikes, housing inflation, rising property taxes, and infrastructure that's struggling to keep up. Several well-known states have posted steady outbound migration in recent years, often tied less to politics and more to monthly cost pressure. When the math tightens, sentiment follows. This ranking weighs three things: sustained outbound migration trends, cost pressure relative to wages, and structural stability, meaning taxes, insurance markets, crime trajectory, and infrastructure reliability. States with rising friction rank higher. States with trade-offs, but workable math, rank lower. We're not grading scenery, we're grading sustainability. Let's break it down. Number 10, Illinois. Illinois combines major economic strength in Chicago with slower growth elsewhere. And that imbalance shows up in population patterns. In many recent estimates, the state has continued to lose residents. Property taxes are often reported as among the highest in the country, and long-term pension obligations still pressure public finances. Outside the largest metro areas, job growth has been uneven. For homeowners, the trade-off is practical. Even if your mortgage is stable, annual tax bills can rise faster than income. Compared to what's ahead, Illinois isn't collapsing, but the steady outflow suggests persistent friction. We come to number 9, Oregon. Oregon built its reputation on natural beauty and quality of life. For years, that attracted steady inflows. Recently, that momentum has cooled. Housing costs, especially around Portland, climbed quickly. Public safety concerns in some urban areas affected perception. State income taxes remain relatively high compared to several Western competitors. The job market still functions in tech and healthcare, but affordability tightened faster than wages for many households. People aren't leaving dramatically. They're recalculating and often choosing states with lower overall cost pressure. Here is number 8, New York. New York still sells ambition at scale, finance, media, culture. What it also sells is some of the highest living costs in America. In recent years, outbound migration has been noticeable, particularly from high-cost downstate regions. State and local taxes rank among the highest nationally, and housing remains expensive even after market shifts. For high earners tied to specific industries, it can still work. For remote workers, similar income with less congestion elsewhere becomes appealing. Compared to Illinois and Oregon, New York's issue isn't lack of opportunity, it's the premium price attached to it. Number 7, Louisiana. Louisiana offers cultural depth few states can match, but it also faces structural volatility. Recent hurricane cycles have strained property insurance markets, with premiums often rising sharply and availability fluctuating in some areas. Economic growth has been inconsistent and infrastructure challenges persist. Storm risk is part of life here. Rising insurance layered on top of maintenance and utility costs makes long-term budgeting less predictable. Compared to New York's density-driven expense, Louisiana's friction is tied more directly to environmental risk and uneven growth. Number 6, California. California remains a global brand with powerhouse industries in technology and entertainment. It also consistently ranks near the top for cost of living. Housing affordability continues to define the experience in major metro areas. State income taxes are among the highest nationally. In wildfire-prone regions, insurance markets have tightened. Outbound migration has been widely reported in recent years, particularly among middle-income households who feel squeezed between rising housing costs and limited real wage growth. California isn't collapsing, it's stratifying, and that distinction matters. High earners absorb the cost, others look elsewhere. And here is number 5, Washington. Washington advertises no state income tax, which sounds simple and attractive, but the broader picture is more complex. Housing prices around Seattle increased rapidly over the past decade, raising barriers for newcomers. Sales taxes are relatively high, and property values in competitive areas translate into significant carrying costs. The tech sector anchors job growth, but households outside that ecosystem may feel the affordability gap widen. Compared to California, taxes look lighter. Compared to much of the country, housing still feels expensive. It's time for number 4, Nevada. Nevada has long marketed itself as low-tax freedom, supported by no state income tax and business-friendly policies, and for years, that drew steady inflows. Recently, housing prices in Las Vegas and Reno climbed quickly, and insurance costs have edged upward. Infrastructure in fast-growing communities feels strained, from traffic to public services. There are also long-term concerns about water sustainability in the Southwest, which factor into relocation decisions more than they once did. Compared to Washington, Nevada may offer simpler taxes, but its tourism-heavy economy can introduce volatility. Families weigh carefully. Number 3, Alaska. Alaska represents independence and vast space, but it also represents isolation, and that structural reality shapes migration. Goods and utilities often cost more due to logistics. Job markets outside key industries can be narrow, and in recent years, population estimates have shown gradual decline. Healthcare access outside major hubs can be limited, and infrastructure maintenance in extreme climates is complex and costly. For certain personalities, Alaska works perfectly. For families seeking broad career flexibility and dense services, the remoteness is practical, not poetic. Here we go. Number 2, Florida. Florida is widely viewed as the unstoppable migration magnet. No state income tax, warm weather, retirement appeal. For years, the numbers supported that image, but here's the shift. In many areas, homeowners have faced sharply rising insurance premiums, particularly in hurricane-exposed regions. Property values increased significantly, pushing property taxes higher. Rapid growth has strained infrastructure in some counties, and congestion is no longer occasional. Florida still attracts newcomers, but it has also seen increased outbound movement among long-term residents, adjusting to higher total monthly expenses. The belief that Florida automatically equals affordable living no longer holds universally. Insurance volatility and housing costs have changed the calculation, and that brings us to number 1, Texas. Texas built its reputation on job growth, relative affordability, and no state income tax. For a long time, that formula drove substantial inbound migration, but no income tax does not mean low overall tax burden. Property taxes are often reported as among the highest nationally, and as home values climbed in major metros, so did annual tax bills. Insurance rates have risen in several regions, while rapid growth intensified traffic and infrastructure strain. The state continues to add residents overall, yet it has also seen rising numbers relocating out of certain high-growth metros, frequently citing cost creep and quality-of-life friction. The trade-off is clear. When housing prices rise and property taxes scale with them, the absence of an income tax becomes less decisive. Texas feels inevitable at number 1 because it reflects the broader shift. Americans moved for opportunity and lower taxes, then discovered that rapid growth carries its own expenses. When the total monthly math tightens, mortgage, taxes, insurance, commute time, relocation becomes a rational decision. None of these states are unlivable. Each works for certain lifestyles and income levels. Migration trends simply reflect trade-offs. If you prefer decisions based on data instead of slogans, subscribe. We'll keep analyzing where the math works and where it quietly doesn't.